So friends, I hope that this example was clear to you. 1st January 2005, Monday. 1st January 2006, Tuesday. So now I am rubbing out this question. This was basically the concept of odd days. In the concept of odd days, in order to calculate the number of odd days, that is those days which cannot be divided in groups of 7, we need to divide the intervening period with 7, and after dividing, whatever remainder we will get, that will be the number of odd days, and those odd days have to be compensated in order to calculate the required day. One more question. It is of the same nature but a slightly different. The question is, 1st of January, you can say 1st of June 2007 is Thursday. Then we have to find out what will be 1st of June 2008. Now friends, I accidentally didn't take up one thing. The thing is that I hope that all of you know what that thing is. The point is that we know that in a normal year we calculate as 365 days, and in a leap year we calculate as 366 days. 1 day is extra. Which is that extra day? Now in a leap year, that extra day is 29th February. Leap year, you make a note. Extra day is 29th February. So here, till now you heard me clear. 1st June 2007 Thursday to 1st June 2008. You can see that it is whole 1 year. This is full 1 year. That is that 1st June 2007, and exactly after 1 year what will come? 1st June 2008. What is this 1st June 2008? 2008 is a leap year. You can see it. And 2007 is a normal year. On which date the extra day of the leap year falls? It falls on 29th February. So in this intervening period, will 29th February will come? Yes, it will come. 1st June 2008, before it will come 29th February 2008, and that will be the extra day. So this, basically, this interval is not 365 days, it is 366 days. So this intervening period is 366 days, not 365 days. If it had not been 2008, or basically this, if any intervening period consists of 29th February, then obviously 1 day extra will be counted. So obviously here I didn't take 365 days, I took 366 days. Now in order to calculate the odd days, the same old process, divide 366 by 7. What I got? 16 divided by, again I got 2 as the remainder. Now here 2 are the number of odd days. That means after dividing the whole leap year, that is 366 days in groups of 52 weeks, we got 2 days extra. Now we have to compensate for these 2 days. So if 1st June 2007 is Thursday, then 1st June 2008 will be 2 days further than Thursday. So if it is, now it will what will become? Thursday to Friday and Friday to Saturday. So this will become Saturday. So your 1st June 2008 will be Saturday, because this was effectively 366 days, not 365 days. So you have to consider the fact that you have to specifically look that whether if 29th February is coming in the calculation or it is not coming. This you have to keep in your mind. Okay, now moving forward. Now whatever I am going to tell you is very important. Kindly listen to it very carefully, because this thing what I am telling to you, if you are able to understand, you will never be uncomfortable in any question of calendars. Till now, whatever concept I have told you, I have not discussed the questions of those concepts here. I will definitely discuss those questions. But before coming on to the part of questions, I want to make you understand the concepts in full. This is a fact. So I told you the concept of odd days. I also told you the concept of 365 days and 365.25 days and all the stuff initially. I told you the extra days 29th February. I told you the basic behind the deep analysis of this thing, why this is happening. I also told you that rotation time 364.25, that is not that much important. If you are comfortable with this, you know it. If you are not comfortable, just remember in a normal day 365 days and after 4 years 1 day is extra. One important thing that till now I have not told you is this. Century years. All those years that have 100 in it. Example, 180, 380, 880, 1680, 2180, though 2014 AD, which is going right now. So, this 2014 is not a century year. What is AD? AD is Anno Domini in the year of Lord. So basically, 100 consists of 100, 300 consists of 300s, 800 consists of 800s, 1600s, 21, 100 consists of 2100s. That is, these are all are multiples of 100. That is, they contain at least 100 in them. And that's why they are termed as century years. It's not difficult to understand. All those years that contain at least 20 in them are century years. Now, we know that all century years will be divisible by 4. It is as simple. 100 will also be divisible by 4, 300 will also be divisible by 4, 800 will also be divisible by 4. In the divisibility lecture I will tell you that in order a number has to be divisible by 4, its last 2 digits should be divisible by 4, and I will also tell you the reasoning behind that thing. So the last 2 digits are 0, obviously divisible by 4, so the whole number is divisible by 4. That means, according to the conventional definition of leap year, these all years will become divisible by 4, so these all years will become divisible by 4, so they will become leap years, but it is not correct. All century years are not leap years. What is the reason behind this thing? The reason behind this thing is that I told you that in order, in terms of days, basically in terms of normal days, that is, you can say 24 hours in a day. I told you approximately it takes 365.25 days for Earth to revolve around the Sun. This was my concept. And according to this concept, taking this 0.25 in calculation, I told you that there will be one extra day for after every 4 years. But if I also told you that this is approximate. It is not exact. This is an approximate, not exact. So the real value is a bit less than this. The real value is a bit less than this. And in order to compensate for that less value, all those century years that are not divisible by 400 are not leap years. Write down a note. all those century that are not divisible by 400 are not leap years, and those divisible by 400 are leap years. This is a note, keep this in your mind. This says that all those century years that are not divisible by 400 are not leap years, but all those century years that are divisible by 400 are leap years. Now come here, 100 AD. 100 AD, is this 100 divisible by 400? No. So 100 AD is not a leap year. Not leap year. 300 AD. Is this 300 AD, which is a century year, divisible by 400? It is not divisible, so it is not a leap year. Coming to 800 AD. 800 AD. Is this 800 AD divisible by 400? Yes, it is divisible, so it is a leap year. Coming to 1600 AD. Is this 1600 AD divisible by 400? Yes, it is divisible by 400, so it is a leap year. 2100 AD. Is this 2100 AD divisible by 400? No, it is not divisible by 400, so it is not a leap year. So friends, simple, all those century years that are divisible by 400 are leap years, all those century years that are not divisible by 400 are not leap years. As simple as that. Those century years divisible by 400 are leap years, not divisible by 400, not leap years. Now friends, at the start of the calendar's lecture I told you one simple concept. What was that concept? That concept was that I told you there are two categories of questions in calendars. The first category belongs to the set where an assumption is taken and a day is given to me, and according to that assumption I have to calculate a different date. But in the second category I told you that randomly a date will be given to you. Suppose 23rd March 2013. Now if I have to calculate what is 23rd March 2013, I have not been given a base. So in those questions, suppose this is a question, that in this question I have been given that what is 23rd March 2013. This is a simple question and I have been given nothing in this thing. Then what I will do in this case? In this case, in order to solve questions like this, I have to make an assumption, which is the right thing, and that thing is that on 1st of January, 1st AD, the day was Monday. This is our assumption. That is, when no base is given to us, we have to make an assumption that is the first day, that is 1st of January, 1st AD, the day which fell was of Monday. That is, the very first day was calculated as Monday, and from then on the counting started. Now on the basis of this, I have to calculate what is 23rd March 2013. Now calculating 23rd March 2013 is a bit further. You have to first understand the concept of odd days in terms of centuries. This is our objective here. Now we have to deal in centuries. So now, for the time being I am rubbing this question because at this point of time, this question cannot be answered. After the finishing of this concept, this is termed as odd day century calculation concept. This is the terminology that is given to you in odd day century calculation concept. This is going to be 1st January, 1st AD, Monday. Please write down in your copy. This is what I know. Now, how many years are there in a century? 100 years. Let's talk about the 1st century. What is this? This is 21st century. 20th centuries have been finished. 20th century was finished on 2000 AD. After that, 2001 was the first year of 21st century. We are currently in the 14th year of 21st century. 100 years. Now, I am talking about the 1st century here. What is 1st century? 1st century is a period from 180 to 180. How many years are these? 100 years. First century, 180 to 180. How many years are these? 100 years. So, what will be the leap years in these 100 years? 480. We are going to write down the leap year. 480, 880, 1280, 1680, 2080, 2480, so on till. Is 180 a leap year? No. 180 is not divisible by 400. So here 180 is not a leap year. So what will be the last leap year of this century? That is the 1st century. It will be 9680. 480 to 880, 1280, 1680, 2080. Please note, this is the list of leap years of the 1st century. 480 will be leap year, 880 will be leap year, 1280 will be leap year, 1480 will be leap year, 9680 will be leap year, 9280 will be leap year, but 180 is not a leap year because 180 is a century year which is not divisible by 400, and all century years which are not divisible by 400 are not leap years. So we will not calculate 100 in the category of leap years. Now, how many leap years are there? These. How we will calculate it? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 96. This is a shortcut of calculating this. We are saying that this is an arithmetic progression. All of you who are very much familiar with the arithmetic concept, arithmetic progression concept, it is good. If you are not familiar, arithmetic progression is a series in which basically the first term increases or decreases by a constant quantity. First term is 4. If we increase 4 by 4, we get 8. If we increase 8 by 4, we get 12. 12 increases by 4, 16. 16 increases by 4, 20. 20 increases by 24. And then so on. So what is the way of calculating the number of terms in an arithmetic progression? The way is, we take the final term, which is 96. From this final term, I will subtract the first term, which is 4. We will divide it by the common difference, which is 4 here. 4, 8 minus 4, 12 minus 8, 16 minus 12, and we will add 1 to it. So, 96 minus 4 plus 4. We will calculate it, we will get it 24 leap years. What we got? We got 24 leap years. So, in the 1st century, how many leap years we got? 24. The generalization of this formula is something like this. Please note down. Final term minus initial term upon common difference plus 1. Ft is the final term, It is the initial term divided by common difference and plus 1. This is the way of calculating the number of terms in an arithmetic progression. Now, what we are going to do next? 24 leap years we got. How many years are there in the 1st century? 100 years. We got 24 leap years. Then how many normal years are there? Normal years are something like this. 100 minus 24, 76 years. These are the normal years. Normal years, those years that are comprised of 365 days only. Leap years, those years that are comprised of 366 days. So So till now I hope it is clear. I am calculating the number of leap years in the first century and the number of normal years in the first century. So please write it down so in order that I can rub this and move forward. Please just jot it down. Actually the board is a bit small, so I have to rub these things in order to proceed further. First century 180 to 100 AD, 24 leap years, 76 normal years. How many odd days are there in a leap year? And how many odd days are there in a normal year? We have discussed this thing in my videos. I told you 365 days are there in a normal year. So what will be the number of odd days? I will divide it. Whatever remainder I will get, that will be the number of odd days. So I divided it, I got the remainder as well. So what is the number of odd days in a normal year? 1 odd day. So for every normal year, there is 1 odd day. So for 76 normal years, there will be 76 odd days. So I will write 76 odd days. Simple. For every leap year, how many odd days are there? Same concept. If I divide it by 36, I got something like this, 16. 2 as the remainder. So for a leap year, the odd days are 2. So how many leap years are there? 24. For every leap year, 2 odd days. So for 24 leap years, 24 into 2, 48 odd days. So I like it as this thing. 24 into 2, 48 odd days. So 48 odd days from leap years, 76 odd days from normal year. Now I am going to add these 2 odd days. How much I will get? I will get 124 odd days. So this is the number of odd days that I got in the first century. That is from 180 to 100 AD. How many odd days I got? I got 124 odd days. That means that these were the days in the first century that were not being able to be compiled in groups.